Hello everyone, Xanaro Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video we are going to do a Digimon deck profile. Yes, I'm going to make a couple of these. I actually kind of already made a couple of them that I'll make some videos over. I like to give out the deck profiles. These are, just me brainstorming, deck building, trying to use a lot of the newer cards when they come out. So this is probably not like the competitive way to build this deck, but I do think that this is a decent deck core that you could probably try to throw together to, have a deck to play with coming out in this next set. So this is a Matt, Tai, Nokia, Omnimon deck, right? You see the Omnimons here, just two of the new Omnimon here. Probably low on the Omnimon counts in this deck, but I do think you only really need to go into one or two to win the game, so you don't want to have too many of them in your hand. Just running two of the new Omnimon, if you don't know what it does, it's from BT22 coming out this weekend. DNA Digivolve on a level 6 Greymon in the name and a level 6 Wargreymon on the name, or you could just Digivolve on any CS trait for a cost of 5. It has blocker and then decode a level 3 red or black, and then decode a level 3 blue or yellow. We have targets for those. On play, when Digivolve and delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. So really good. So on play, when attacking, so he will be abused in Royal Knights decks. Obviously, they gave a lot of these cards on play effects, thinking about that deck. But it is what it is. But he also says, when Digivolving, for every 2 same level card this Digimon stack has, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck, then this Digimon may attack. So even if you don't get the DNA Digivolve for free, what you do with this guy, if you had to hard Digivolve on top of one of your other like wargreymon or metalgarurumons, is you Digivolve, you get to pop something to the bottom of the deck, and then you then get to swing. Say you did have to, Digivolve for 5, swing, and then delete something the lowest DP. Really strong. Going to be super good with some inheritables you got. And then just running one of the Omni Ace. This is the Omni Ace from BT17 for the Matt and Tai version of the deck. Now, you can blast DNA Digivolve your wargreymon and metalgarurumon, so I wanted to have that option in the deck to do so. And it has raid blocker, and then obviously the on play, when Digivolve and if DNA Digivolve, choose one of your opponent's Digimon, return it and all their Digimon at the same level as it to the bottom of the deck, then delete one of their Digimon. You do want a couple versatile pieces. And then I did run one, I do think that running one of this Omni X is probably a good call, because you can still just Digivolve on top of your level 6s if you need to for 6. But he can go on top of any of these Omnimons for a cost of 2, right? And then obviously super strong card here. It is a little expensive. Raid, piercing, blocker, on play, when Digivolve, and if Omnimon or X anybody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, choose one of both players' Digimon and delete all other Digimon. Then return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And your turn, once returned, one of your Digimon may gain Rush for the turn and attack without suspending. Really strong. That is the Omnimon lineup. But let's get into what the new Nokia does for us here. She is a memory setter, which is really important for this deck. She will set you to 3. She is going to cost 5, but she has start of your main phase and on play. If you have one or fewer Digimon, you may play one Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without paying the cost. So we've seen how important this card was for Imperial. Now we have Omnimon having it, which is really important. I do think that this is now the most important tamer in the deck, being able to let you see that rookie able to play it out and go through your lines. All turns, all your Digimon, Greymon, Garurumon, or Omnimon name get 1,000 DP boost. That part is, it helps, but it's not really crazy. Memory setter gives you value every turn if they clear your board. We are running one of the old Nokia, and then she is just an on-play, lets you play an Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without paying the cost. And then main, when Digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card with the Garurumon, Omnimon, or Greymon in its name, you may suspend this tamer, reduce the cost of the Digivolution cost by 1. So letting you go into your lines really quick. That one is the old one from BT5. These might be hard to find. The box toppers on them now, they may go up in price. Just from EX09, the newest adventure trait for Tai and Matt. On play, you may return one Digimon card, Greymon, Garurumon, or Omnimon its name from your trash your hand. If this effect didn't return, draw one. This just helps you get a piece back. So you can see now, while I'm not running a ton of the Omnimons, we can play this card down, get one of the Omnimons back to our hand if we need to, so we can recur those a lot or anything outside of our line. And then all turns, when any of your Digimon are played or Digivolve, so by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory if you have a Digimon Greymon its name, and then gain 1 memory if you have a Garurumon. You really want to wait for this one until you already are in one of your big lines, hard play down one of the other ones, gain the 2 memory, and then end the turn being able to end a Digivolve. Also running one of the BT17. I know this is a lot of one-ofs, but you really want to see at least one of each of all these tamers, and they all do something a little bit different. So I do think running a mix-up of them is pretty good. All turns when one of your Digimon is played or digivolves by stranding this tamer. If you have a Digimon Greymon its name, gain 1 memory. If you have Digimon Gabumon its name, gain a memory. Any of your turn once per turn, one of your Digimon with Omnimon in its name may attack a player, which is really, really good, being able to let you swing in with your Omnimons, because your ace won't let you do it, maybe if you had to digivolve, but it just makes it where if you do have to pass your turn by hard digivolving to these and you're not your pieces, this tamer lets you get some kind of value out of your Omnimons, being able to swing with them if you do have to hard digivolve. One of the original Matt and Tai from EX4 just says, your turn you may play one Gabumon or Agumon by suspending this tamer. When you play Gabumon or Agumon, suspend this tamer, gain 1 memory. So you can see all the value we have with this one, being able to let us play that Gabumon Agumon. When we do, we gain a memory. And then your turn once per turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves, if you have one or fewer Digimon, you may play one Gabumon if that Digimon has Greymon in its name, or one Agumon if it has Garurumon in its name. Miraculous Mega Knight, this card is so good, and putting it down to 2 is a little hurtful, to be honest, but we do need room. We want to run a bunch of different lines, and I'm trying to make this deck as fun as possible, and I do think that it is going to be comparable too. It costs 2. You have to meet the color requirements. We have multiple tamers, 2, 4, 6, or 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cut ways to meet it, and then our Omnimons and other colors let us get it too. But main, you may play one Gabumon or Agumon from your hand or trash without paying the cost and place this in a battle area. This one's really, really important because it lets us get it from the trash, so we don't have to waste our hand, because a lot of these other cards are coming from our hand. And then just says, all turns when one of your level 6 or Greymon or Omnimon in its name would leave the battle area outside of battle. Delayed. That Digimon, that card in the hand, may DNA digivolve into a Digimon card with Omnimon its name in the hand. Really, really good, because both of these are right here do have the DNA digivolutions to be able to do so. So this card, you bring out a 6, leave it as bait on the board. If they try to get rid of it, then you can then DNA digivolve into one of your Omnimons here. Now, I am choosing to run a very versatile mixed up line of the level 6s, so stay with me as I go through them. One of the wargreymon adventure trait here, because these effects to blast digivolve will help keep you in the game. Say your opponent goes to swing in, do all kinds of crazy stuff. You blast digivolve, you have your wargreymon on the board now. It's going to have protection, because for every 2 colors your tamers have, their Digimon's effects don't affect one of your Digimon, and we have 2 colors. We have 3 colors that we can end up being able to get up to. We can't get up to 4. If you do want to run the other tie to get it to 4, you probably could if you want to focus around on this one a little bit more. But it has the blast DNA digivolve and 3 on top of an adventure trait, which we run the adventure trait Digimon, any generic of those, or just your 4 or 5s. So this one cannot go on. This one goes on all of them, actually, yeah, because the level 5s we're running are going to all have the adventure for the blue line, and then the red line is the only one here. The new CS Rise Greymon is the only one that we have that we're not running, that you can go on top of generically with like the adventure kind of digivolution from the metalgarurumon down there. But getting to that, we are running one of the ace metalgarurumon as well. Blast digivolving is so good, and then when attacking, once per turn, you may play one level 4 level Digimon from your trash for paying a cost. This one can come up pretty good, because say you come up into this one, you don't have a lot of stuff in your hand, you play one from your trash, and then that way it'd be able to help you try to make this deck as versatile as possible. These cards both really, really good from the last structure decks. Running one of the BT17 wargreymon. It says when this card will be played, if you have a tamer with tie in its name, reduce the play cost to 3. And then on play, when digivolve and activate one of these effects, you either blow up one of their 8,000 DP or less, or one of your Gabumon may digivolve into a metalgarurumon on your hand, nor does it require requirements without paying the cost. This one is really, really good, but I do want to focus on the new one as well, right? Because this one says main hand. If you have Nokia Shurima, one of your Agumon digivolves into this card for a digivolution cost of 6, ignoring its digivolution requirements. And I do like that one a little bit more as well, because you're getting to digivolve on that Digimon. Nokia is going to let you play one out, whichever one you're missing, and then take these versions of the card, blast digivolve on them, and then now get their win a digivolve effects, which is activate one of the effects below. One of your Gabumon may digivolve into metalgarurumon in the hand, ignore its digivolution requirements without paying the cost, or delete one of your opponent's Digimon to lowest DP, which I think can come up to be a lot better. It can go on a level 5, 4, or blue, which makes it a little more versatile, and then also any level 5 of Greymon or name, or CS in the trait for a cost of 3. one thing to note is that it cannot go on the purple wargreymon here. It does not have CS in the trait, so that makes it a little bit harder to do. But outside of that, it can go on all your other level 5s because we do meet the requirements for those. Really, really good. But you want to put this one on metalgarurumon, right? That's what it's meant to do. You can go on top of the wargreymon / mode if you need to because it is a blue source, but that's not what you want to do. It's going to be very tricksy hands, but I want to make this deck as versatile, and maybe I'm making it clumpy too, but who knows? I can't wait to test it with this version. But we do run 2 of the new metalgarurumon. Same thing goes on top of a blue or red level 5 for 4, or your Garurumon or CS trait for a cost of 3, right? So the new wargreymon is a CS trait, which is really, really good. Will help us out here. So to note that this one cannot go on the metalgarurumon Alturius mode. For that reduced cost, it's going to cost you 4. But at least it still can do that. The only one that cannot go on top of another one of your 5s is this particular wargreymon, obviously not being able to go over there on that one. And then these, having to go on this one. It's a very specific thing. Like, this one can go on your Greymons. It cannot go on the Garurumons because it never was able to. That's why we're only running one of these old ones. But the Ace can, because it just needs a venture in the trait, which both of these Garurumons are venture traits, so you can go on it. So it may look a little clumpy, but I promise you it is going to work. But then it just, lets you return one of your opponent's lowest level to the hand, or let one of your Agumon warp digivolve into the wargreymon. And then we are running one of the old BT21, which lets you reduce the cost by 3 if you have a mat, and then, letting one of your opponent's Digimon tamers can't suspend, or letting one of your Agumon warp digivolve. A lot of different level 6s, but I do think that these aces come in clutch. The old ones can come in clutch sometimes, and the new ones are really, really good as well. You want to see a good mix of all of them, and I promise you it will be really, really fun to do. You're going to get to do a lot of everything in this one, right? I am running 2 of each of these Sagittarius mode and the Alturius mode. These are the new ones from EX09, and I think they're going to go really well in this deck because they can both digivolve on top of their respective original versions. Like the wargreymon can go on top of the wargreymon for just a cost of 1, and the Greymon on top of the wargreymon for 1, giving you even more inheritables for you to abuse on your Omnimons, right? So that is what is really powerful, and that's what I wanted to make happen with this deck. Say you have the metalgarurumon go on top of the wargreymon, the wargreymon Sagittarius mode go on top of the wargreymon. Now when you DNA digivolve into your Omnimon, once you get into the level 6s, you're going to have when attacking once per turn, digivolve when attacking. Alliance to give it execute attack. The wargreymon gives it security attack +1, and then another 4000 DP from the Arturius mode. These cards are going to be so good when you get to combo them all up together. But on play, when Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. And like I said, you go on any level 4 Greymon with a venture trait cost of 3, or a metalgarurumon for a cost of 1. So you will not be able to go on top of the wargreymon here. But, you don't really care about that one too much, being able to go on that, since it does have to go on top of metalgarurumon, but they only gave us the wargreymon here. If you do want to throw the other one here so you can do that combo I was talking about, you can, but I just think that this security attack +1 here is just so good, being able to do that. You may not be able to do that combo here, but you can take out, 1 or 2 of these, throw in your metalgarurumons if you really want to, but I think that this one, just being able to go into any of the adventure traits, the level 4s that we're running right here, this purple one is really, really versatile. But even though it's not a metalgarurumon, this wargreymon is so good for the deck because it lets you digivolve on your level 4 Greymon name or CS trait cost of 3, so you will not be able to go on top of the purple Garurumons or anything like that. So like the deck has always been a little clumpy in that way where they're not able to go through them, but I do like that this one says it has raid, and it says when digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers from your hand and without paying the cost, you could play 1 red or black tamer card, and with a play cost 4 or less, and 1 tamer card with the CS trait for free, right? So that's all of our tamers. Outside of the Nokia red CS trait, you don't get to play the Nokia. I know that this metalgarurumon messes up with this guy, but I do think it is worth it because either way you would still be running 10 level 5s, but you can't do the combo I was talking about earlier unless you take out this wargreymon for the other metalgarurumon. And I do like the black metalgarurumon that is the adventure that lets you DNA or de-digivolve and make him attack, but I think that this wargreymon is really, really good. If you want to take this one down to 1 or 2 and then put one of the metalgarurumon, I could definitely see that. But I think playing these tamers out for free is super, super important. And raid is really, really good. But going on to the wargreymon, this is the adventure wargreymon. This one will let you go on your adventure traits for a cost of 3, or anything with Garurumon in its name. On play when digivolving, delete when your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If you have tamers 2 or more total colors, add 1. So when digivolving on play, you can just blow up a level 5 or lower because you're going to have the colors for it. And then your turn once per turn when your other Digimon are played or digivolve. If any of them had the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains alliance for the turn, then one of your Digimon may attack. This comes up pretty big, being able to hard play something and then letting it get alliance to swing. You're going to have a lot of versatility of what you could do with this deck. And then the wargreymon Sagittarius mode, this one can go on top of your wargreymon because it has wargreymon in the name, and it can also go on top of your adventure trait cost cards for a cost of 3. So it can go on top of this Greymon here for the cost of 3. It digivolves on the blue or black anyway, so it can go on top of that one and on top of the Greymon. So this one is a little bit more versatile, being able to go on any of these. So the, synergy we're missing with the Rise Greymon to the 4s is getting covered by the Wargreymon, and then these guys here synergize pretty well too. So the only one that's a little clumpy is the Rise Greymon, but I promise you playing Tamers for free is busted. But your turn, when any of your other Digimon Tamers with Greymon or Matt and their names are played, and any of your Digimon digivolve to a Digimon with Greymon in its name, this Digimon may digivolve to a Digimon with Garurumon in its name in the hand without paying the cost. So then being able to, free bounce digivolve, and the Metal Greymon Alturius mode also says that same kind of thing. All right, we're getting there. Oh, we got 4 of the Adventure Purple Garurumon security. Play this without paying the cost. And then on play, when digivolving, you may return 1 Digimon card with the Adventure trait from your trash to your hand. This is some free recursion. We do have a lot of different cards. A couple of the rookies we're running with Adventure trait, level 4s, level 5s, and level 6s with Adventure trait. So it will cycle you certain pieces. But we are running it because when attacking once per turn, draw 1 and trash 1 is just so good. And then we are running the BT15 Garurumon actually. Because when digivolving, if you have a tamer with Matt Sheeta and its name, draw 1. If you don't have a tamer with Matt Sheeta and its name, you may play 1 card with Matt Sheeta and its name, and your name from your hand with play cost reduced by 3. So this one's really, really good because it lets you reduce the play cost by 3, so you only have to play 1 for these Tai and Matt Ishida cards in their name. Which is really, really good. I know you don't get to play it for free, but that's okay. The Greymon does let you do that. If you don't have a tamer with Tai in its name and play, you may play 1 tamer card with Tai in its name from your hand without playing the cost. But the Garurumon's a little more versatile, right? Because if you have a tamer at Matt Sheeta's name, draw 1. If you don't, then you get to play. So it is a little versatile to do that. And then we are running 3 of the Greymon Adventure from the starter decks. This one, it just has the Reboot Inheritable, which we do want. It's going to be really, really good for whenever we're having to push through plays with our level 6s, and we want to stand them back up. And then obviously it'll give our Omnimon's Reboot. I think having this Reboot Inheritable is super, super strong. And then on play, when Digimon, if you have a Tai Kamiya or a tamer with the Adventure trait, give one of your opponent's Digimon starter main phase this Digimon attacks until the end of the turn. This card is so good for you to be able to bait your opponent. Say you're ready to combo off, you swing in with your level 6s, you do their effects, and then you want to be able to blast Digivolve during your opponent's turn without them being able to answer the body first, right? So then you just hard play the Greymon, force them to do it, and then you can blast Digivolve with the Omnimon here on their turn, forcing them to have to do that. Or if any instance you have the aces in your hand, the level 6s, that you could then blast Digivolve onto some of your other guys here. Going through, I know these are some weird numbers, right? But it is a toolbox deck at the end of the day, so that is what we're going with. All right, we got 4 of the new BT22 Agumon. It has the coveted inheritable in the turn, let you DNA Digivolve, and then on play, return 1 Digimon card with Greymon, Gabumon, or Omnimon's name from your trash to your hand. So you see, we have a lot of different ways to recur resources. The Gabumon does the same thing, but letting you return, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Omnimon its text, and 1 card with the CS trait among them to your hand. So this one lets you search your trash, and then this one lets you search your deck for the pieces that you're missing. And then we are then also running 2 of each of these starter deck adventure deck rookies, which then do let you warp on their own, which is really, really important for you to be able to do, because you get to ignore the digivolution requirements for 1, and you're gonna have the 3 tamers, and I think that these guys letting you do it for that cost and not having to play the 6s down first may be able to let you do that in a certain way, where I think that these comboing off like that is really, really good. Obviously, this one giving you the Reboot Inheritable, and this one giving you the when attacking once return. It does help out a lot. One thing to note is that this particular Gabumon can not digivolve on top of these Koromons here. You can choose to run the other Koromon or Sunamon from the starter deck if you want to, but I do feel like the generic BT5 Koromon that says when attacking, if it has Omnimon Greymon in the name, you draw one, or the Koromon that just gives you that generic 1000 BP is really good option to go with the eggs. But you can do anything you want with this deck, right? Like, I just chose a bunch of different random things I think that will work together, and I think that this is a good kind of, seeing what the cards can do. Pick which cards you guys like the most from this deck profile. Change your ratios. Change which ones you want to focus around. I wanted to play with a little bit of everything, and I can't wait to build this deck when it comes out. I have the extra pieces. I have a full version of just the decks on their own of Nokia and Tai already. So then when this set comes out, I'll add into these each respective decks and then try to build this particular deck too. I have the extra Omnimon Aces and X Anybody's laying around and extra copies of these rares and the other stuff. So I am looking forward to building this one. Please let me know what you guys are looking forward to building from the new set. BT22 is going to be really, really cool. I do think that if you wanted just to run all the straight cards for this set, just for the Nokia and add in those, you can. But I do want to kind of like have this hybrid mixed deck of the 3 tamers. But you could go full all in on just the Nokia cards, and it'll probably work out for you regardless. But let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Don't forget to leave the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.